Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Jason Carr in for Karen Drew. First at 4, if you've been outside, you know this holiday weekend is heating up with the temps getting close to a record anyway. The heat may have encouraged more people to head to Belle Isle. This afternoon, listen to this, the DNR has stopped car traffic from crossing onto the island as it is filled. Belle Isle is filled to capacity right now. You can see all those cars backed up at this hour. You could bike or walk over if you were so motivated, but it looks like Memorial Day back to normal after 2 years of lockdown and pandemic and whatnots. Right now, let us focus on the heat. That is the story of the moment. Meteorologist Andrew Humphrey is standing by with the first forecast. Andrew, it's even muggy in here.
That's right, exactly right. I mean, temperatures are simply soaring outdoors where air conditioning is needed, of course. Good idea also to get into those keep cool tips and habits that we developed during the course of the summer. We're getting an early start with that. Are we near a record high? Well, we're at least in the upper 80s. The record high for today, 93, set back in 2006. Tomorrow, the heat is on as well. Tomorrow's record high from the 1800s of 95. So where do we stand now? No 90-degree temperatures yet, but we're getting close. 88 over at City Airport, while it's 87 over at Metro Airport, 87 in Lapeer. Even with these temperatures in the middle and upper 80s, make sure you stay hydrated, wear light and loose-fitting clothes, keep children and pets away from empty vehicles. That wind out of the south-southwest keeping us very warm and hot through the rest of the afternoon. Look at how warm it stays for events, including commemorations that are still going on this holiday. Through the evening, we'll still be in the 80s. We'll still have mostly clear skies and temperatures in the 70s toward midnight. We'll talk about how hot it gets tomorrow, when we get some relief, and when we get some rain in your 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Andrew. There is holiday travel trouble across the U.S. on this holiday weekend, but passengers coming into and leaving Detroit actually might be luckier than most. The website FlightAware shows more than 1,500 cancellations affecting U.S. travelers today, plus closing in on 11,000 delays, by the way. You're looking at video from Detroit Metro airports. About 8% or less of the flights at our airport have been affected. New at 5, consumer investigator Hank Winchester is live from the airport, and he'll tell us if more cancellations are expected tonight and why this could be a problem actually throughout the entire summer. Detroit police investigating a deadly shooting near a well-known downtown bar and grill. We had a crew on the scene at Clifford and Columbia, and that is near Bookie's Bar and Grill. We know one man was killed, but right now we don't have any information about that victim, the circumstances, or even a suspect. But we will keep you posted as we learn more. The push for gun reform is still very much front and center on this holiday weekend. President Biden offering a new promise, and the clock is ticking in the U.S. Senate, all in the aftermath of the deadly school shooting in Texas. Kimberly Gill is in the newsroom tracking new developments. Kimberly.
Jason, good afternoon to you. President Biden was in Uvalde, Texas over the weekend. Earlier, he spoke today briefly about his meeting with families who lost loved ones in that shooting. While those families grieve, we're tracking the push for answers and action. The search for answers is focusing on why it took so long for police on the scene to go after the gunman. The U.S. Justice Department announced Wednesday it will review the response and make its findings public. As we know, 19 students and 2 teachers were shot to death at Robb Elementary almost a week ago. Many are calling for new action on gun reform in the wake of those deaths. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has given a bipartisan group of senators 10 days to craft some type of compromise to get legislation through the Senate. Today, President Biden made it clear, though, he'll keep pushing to make something happen.
Folks who were victimized, their families, they spent 3 hours and 40 minutes with me. They waited all that time, and some came 2 hours early. And the pain is palpable, and I think a lot of it's unnecessary. So I'm going to continue to push, and we'll see how this works.
If that group of bipartisan senators cannot craft a compromise, Schumer is promising to bring up existing gun legislation for a vote to force everyone to go on the record. It's likely this issue could become a key talking point during the midterm elections, which are now about 5 months away. So, Jason, that's it for now. We'll see you tonight on Local 4 News at 5 and 6.
All right, good enough. Thank you, Kimberly.
Sure thing.
The Russian invasion of Ukraine grinds on, and we'll talk about new street fighting and a key battle in just a moment. But first, the Ukrainian President Zelensky made his first official visit to Kiev This is since the war began. He toured the damage also in the city of Kharkiv while wearing a bulletproof vest. The president's office says Russian troops have destroyed over 2,100 apartment blocks in that area, but Zelensky is vowing to rebuild. Russian troops fighting hard to gain control of the industrial Donbas region. They entered another city in eastern Ukraine and they cut power there and communications. The mayor of that city says fierce street fighting is underway as the Ukrainians try to keep the Russians out. But the Ukrainian military says the Russians are reinforcing their positions and bringing in new equipment and ammunition. The European Union met again today to show support for Ukraine, but remains divided over new sanctions on Russian fuel. See, the EU gets 40% of its natural gas and 25% of its oil from Russia, making it tough to get along without it. If they're sanctioning the Russians, then they're going to have fuel shortages. The war in Europe might have many of you reflecting even more on the price of freedom on this Memorial Day. It was certainly on the mind of President Biden as he paid his respects at the tomb of the unknown soldier. He was at Arlington National Cemetery with Vice President Harris and military leaders. The president says we are free today because of the bravery of America's armed forces. Also this morning, the president and the First Lady attended a church service in Delaware. Today is a tough day for the First family. The president's son, Beau, died 7 years ago today after a battle with brain cancer. The first couple attended a morning mass and then paid their respects at Beau's grave before heading back to D.C. Closer to home, the sound of taps could be heard in St. Charles, Michigan, which is near Saginaw. This memorial was part of a Boy Scout event. Our Kim DeJulio was in Dearborn this morning for a memorial parade that was full of memories and turning points.
The Dearborn Memorial Day Parade is meaningful to so many people, and after 96 years of existence, this parade has become part of this community's DNA, especially for some people who grew up watching the parade, now getting an opportunity to participate in it. Hi! He once was just a boy watching this parade. Now he's walking in it as the city's new mayor.
Born and raised in the city of Dearborn, there's a street, Chauvin. I used to sit there as a child watching it every single year. As a state rep, I had the opportunity and privilege to participate, and this year to put it together. But he says that full circle feeling is just something to reflect on, because today is about honoring our fallen heroes. Today I'm just Abdullah Hamoud, a son of this community, and just excited to be one. Also walking in the parade for the first time in a new role is Wayne County Sheriff Raphael Washington.
This is actually probably my second one doing this, but the first one as a sheriff, and so I'm so honored to have been invited and to walk this parade.
But this year also marks a last.
See, I'm going to start to cry. This has been my community for a very long time, and it's my last official Dearborn Memorial Day Parade.
U.S. Congresswoman Debbie Dingell prepares to change districts because of the state's rewritten political maps. She reflects on what this parade means to her and what it meant to her late husband.
Since the day I married John Dingell, this was always a very important tradition. He was a World War II veteran. These were his friends, his comrade in arms, and that's what we celebrate today, the men and women that gave their life so we can be free.
And though it may be her last parade representing this district, she'll always have a special place for this event and its people.
I love the people of Dearborn. Nobody can ever take you from my heart and soul.
And reflection is what this parade is all about. County Executive Warren Evans says it's important to honor our loved ones who fought and to reflect on how important our friends, family, and neighbors are.
An awful lot of people in this country, awful lot of families here in Detroit and other places that have lost loved ones in the military. We're seeing all kinds of tragedies around us now that make us think more about the value of life.
In Dearborn, I'm Kim DeJulio, Local 4.